Hey guys, welcome back to Fire on the Hill. My name is Matt. Today is a scorcher, guys. It is hot. As you can see, I got my fishing shirt on. Good thing about running a processor, guys, you don't really have to worry about messing up your clothes like a normal log splitter, because you're always touching the wood and picking it up whatnot. But with a processor, you can wear what you want. But anyways, guys, it is so hot out here. Luckily, I'm still somewhat in the shade. Before long, I won't be. So we're going to try to knock this wood out real quick. I've made one change on the processor since my last setup. And the change is we're going to piles now. As you saw in my last video, I have a resplit machine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to resplit them into a tote. One other reason for this is I have maybe 8 of these baskets left, and that's it. And I want to use those for the wood fridge. So from now on, we'll be piling onto the pallets, and then I'll use my resplit machine to split the pieces of wood into the baskets if I have any baskets. If not, I'll probably just create a pile somewhere else. I haven't went that far yet. If this is your first time on the channel, this is a Chinese processor. It's a 45T, so it's 45 ton. I've made some changes myself. I put the spreader bar on because before these went to a point, these chains, and the wood got caught. I made this chute here with the grizzly bars there. I created a bigger block, so I welded like 4 inches onto that block, and then I put this measuring device on. It's just a little plastic chain that hangs there, and then I upgraded the bar. I know this chain is dull, guys, and you can hear the motor bogging a little bit, but you know, it still has a little cut left into it, so I'm gonna keep running it. That was user error right there. There we go. Sometimes when the wood hangs lower than the saw can cut, it does that. So sometimes you just have to roll it. Especially if it's a really uneven log like this one. This is an ugly one. See how this goes. Nothing to it. So you see how this is angled down? That's not gonna cut well because the saw won't go all the way down. I do have a little, the log kind of goes inward there, so I might be lucky with that, but I'm still gonna go ahead and roll it a little bit. You see how that's much straighter? log deck is empty, guys. This is what we ended up with just that little bit on the log deck that wasn't even a full load. But usually what I come to find out is each log deck full is a half a quart. So I forgot to mention, but I put the 6-way in here instead of the 8-way that I usually run. And the reason being is I was getting massive pieces on the bottom with the 8-way, and there's nothing I could do about it. With the 6-way, I was able to drop it and make really nice pieces on the bottom on those small logs that I had. Unfortunately, the last 3 logs that I did were pretty big, so they wouldn't be 6-way wood. But if you can see on the bottom here, we have a bunch of nice little pieces here. Those last 3 logs were big, which created these big pieces from the 6-way. So I definitely need to get better at sorting my wood to size. That way I can run the 6-way wedge and do a lot less resplitting. Well, that was my first time running this processor in about 3 weeks. It's been a while since I've actually ran it. So I was definitely rusty on the controls. And like I mentioned when I was cutting the wood, it's very finicky when the chain gets dull. So when it's sharp, it cuts right through the wood and it pulls it down, so you don't have to put as much pressure on the chainsaw. Also, if you put too much pressure, because it's dogging down so bad, it's gonna stall the motor. So when your chain gets duller, you have to do the opposite. You have to put more pressure on it so that it doesn't jump around in the wood like it was doing. That was me not putting enough pressure initially on it. Once I put that pressure, you saw that it went right through the wood. You know, some would say that don't do that on your processor, you know, you're wearing it down and whatnot. But guys, I mean, honestly, the chain gets pretty dull around like 3 cord. So I can get about 3 more cord out of that chain with it dull like that before it becomes an issue. So that's why I do that. I mean, I'm sure a lot of the people do it, maybe they don't show it. But yeah, I mean, I just gotta get back on this processor, get flowing with it really well. Everything worked great. I had no issues with it. I could just tell that it was user error on my part on a lot of it with the cutting. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.